before the night is through.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a tactical knife, you know, get the $1,500. More crucially, I just want to see a good game of Counter-Strike. And I think that's what we're here to see, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mirage, it's Map 3, it's a decider to see if ITB still have a chance of becoming 8-time back-to-back ESL Premiership champions, or if ITB want to put a stop to it. It's a race for 16, it's a chance for glory for ITB. For Endpoint, they start on the CT side. For ITB, it's the T, Adam, Smoke, double flash. On the Endpoint side, 5 lots of Kevlar, banking on the fact that they will beat them before the bomb goes down.
Oh. Well, ITB immediately going for that rush through apartments over towards the B site. Endpoint might not have clocked onto this. They have fanned out quite heavily though, so it shouldn't take long to figure out that this is what the play is going to be. And Mighty Max setting himself up into a beautiful position for a potential backstab. Surreal does notice them start to pour out onto the site. Ooh, the first kill is going to go the way of Cypher. It is instantly traded out. Bomb does go down. And now Endpoint have to regroup.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt here in the post plant, because the longer the Endpoint leave this to cook, the less time they have to get that 10-second stick going. As I said, it was 5 lots of Kevlar at the start of the round, so they've really got to get a move on. Adam goes for a flank, but it's just a decoy, because Rusty's found a trade, and it brings all the attention of Endpoint back towards the short position rather than on site. It's a 2v2, the bomb's too far gone. Draken, he's going to be holding on. Thomas, no chance, and that indeed is Endpoint that lose the pistol. ITB up 1-0.
It's a good start for the ITB squad, but we have mentioned they've been a little lackluster for the most part on pivoting off of these round wins. They did a pretty decent job of it on Nuke, to say the least, but on Ancient it was a bit rough, so we'll see if they can replicate their Nuke performance here on Mirage. They're, of course, going to be able to force up quite nicely off the back of winning that round. Endpoint also going to put quite a spend into this one. The Scout comes out as well as an MP9, so quite a big investment here from Endpoint, and it could be high risk, high reward.
Certainly could be. I think, as you said, for Endpoint, it's a bit of a roll of the dice. Financially, MHL keeping a bit of cash just so he can afford an AWP when they go for the full buy. Great shots, MHL, 2 of them actually. Cypher falls, what's just happened to ITB? 1 kill in response from Dobbo. Surreal will trade, Surreal doubles down. That's horrific for ITB. That is sour. Endpoint, what a response. What a couple of shots from MHL.
This is what I was saying. They really struggle to convert. And that, you know, high-risk force from Endpoint certainly did pay off. They win out the round at the end there. And as much as they do lose a few players, they have that cash to be able to reinvest a little bit into this. But ITB back down onto merely upgraded pistols in a round that should realistically have been their bonus. Unfortunately, asleep at the wheel once again. They concede a round over to Endpoint that they really shouldn't have.
And again, a classic Tech9 Rush B, or I guess in this case Deagle Rush B, could always work out. We'll see. But again, as you said, that is not one way to be looking at it and saying, oh, ITB should just be able to respond. It's the fact that they had the better weaponry. And to be fair, yeah sure, they do walk into the stack a little bit. Certainly, and I mean certainly not ideal that that's the case. Nice shots coming out from Thomas. 2 players already removed this Endpoint side. Doing ever so well here just to start things off in the right way, and looking to finish it as well in strong steading. Deagle doesn't hit the mark. Rusty, Adam does find 1. Draken can't connect either. It's Adam against 4. The IGL won't be able to do much more than that. So there you have it. Endpoint, they're in front, 2-1.
I had a lot of faith in their ability to win that previous force, and of course coming into this, not on a bonus per se. Obviously they had lost a few players, but they were at the advantage, so they should come out on top of it, and so they do. Now they get to actually play a bonus. They do have to spend a little bit to replenish here and there where they did lose a player or 2, but for the most part, it is a bonus. And they come up against ITB's pure eco. The tiniest bit of cash spent by Adam for a slightly upgraded pistol there. But for the rest of it, right, they're just holding on to cash into the next round. So we're staring down the barrel of a 3-1 in favor of Endpoint, and ITB just have completely lost control of any momentum. We look to the next round to see if ITB can bring it back.
Astralis stat coming out from ITB. Not quite Danish blood in their roster, but Scandinavian blood, I guess, is close enough. It's quite literally going for the classic Astralis boost. Just in underpass. Sometimes if someone wants to jump down, have a look, see what's going on, you know, maybe go for a bit of a B play. You walk into 5 Glocks, or well, in this case 4 Glocks, 1 P250. Don't think you're going to be making it out alive, or at least you shouldn't be. Ultimately now just waiting to see if anyone wants to make the move. A great flashbang. No one peeks off the back of it. How long are ITV going to hold this boost for before they get bored and try and do something different?
The slower kind of posturing death ball approach could pay off in the way of a kill or two from ITB, which would of course be the ideal here for this setup. I mean, this positioning from Endpoint is so good. Nertz will just spray through, get 3 for himself. There is a trade. There you go. 2 kills from the death ball. Probably the best they could have hoped for from that round, but of course, Endpoint will close it out.
Yeah, as you said, more importantly, right, it was just the damage that ITB were looking for. They knew coming into this round there was no real glimpse at a round win. It was just about doing the damage, and as you can see, a couple of kills does go a long way financially because, well, I mean, they invest $300 in 1 P250 for the entire roster, and they've done 2 kills onto M4s, which is $6,200. Include the armor, 8.2k utility. You're looking upwards of $9,000, right? So they're going to be more than happy with a result like that. Now on the rifles, though, Cypher walks into his demise. Rusty, second to follow. 2 kills and another ITB response lost in translation.
2 kills for Thomas there under heavy fire. Still manages to survive. Not the best look here for ITB. This potential lurk as well from Surreal could be nasty. It does. It connects. Only 2 players left now. Surely at this point it's just straight into the blender. As Endpoint still have... I mean, this could realistically be a flawless... Okay, it's not a flawless. Woo! That was some good return fire at the very least, but this will definitely be yet another Endpoint round.
Dobbo caught off guard. That's will find him. 4 survive. Max, unfortunately, still stuck on the MP9. Not that he'll complain now that ITB are probably back on pistols. Ultimately, no, that is a round that was lost in the first few seconds. As soon as Cypher goes out and dies, and then the follow-up trade doesn't happen either. I don't know. It's a bit painful to see now as ITB. They are second best right now here on the server, but, you know, plenty of time to get that changed up. As I said, both teams statistically prefer playing on the CT side, you know, the better win rates and everything like that. So for ITB, they know as long as they coast for the first 15, as long as they set themselves up enough, they still have a fighting chance when they switch sides. Great shot from Rusty to start things off. Cypher caught in over rotation, though. That'll be him gone.
At least ITB are able to get themselves an early kill, but looks like that might just be all they get. Dobbo trying desperately here to win that up, but it'll be the HE to finish him off. They had space on the site, and it's quickly taken straight back away from them. Still posturing a little bit, still trying to make an ingress, but Endpoint just continue an absolutely dominant first half here. Not a flawless round, but once again, it's a round where they only lose 1 player. They have so much cash stacked up at this point, slowly widening that deficit. And I mean, look, we've seen this before with Into the Breach, right? We've seen where Endpoint are able to snowball up, get a lot of rounds, and it takes a little while, but then Into the Breach kind of hit their stride a little bit. Unfortunately, on Ancient, it was too little too late. on Nuke, well, they had a bit of a runaway there, and they managed to maintain the control. But now in Mirage, of course, it's all that much more important. So now with this buy available, with that AWP in Draken's hands, they need to start turning things around again.
Fast B play. Cypher was spotted. They have to accelerate. They have to be punctual, and that's more like it from Kai. First kill, and a second from Cypher. 3v5, Endpoint locked out of the B site. They add some pace and some power to the investment and to the play, and that rewards them with a second round, surely. I don't see MHL, Thomas, and Nertz entertaining the idea with 2 players already being in A Palace. This round's done. ITB will take a second.
Good change in their approach, right? Like, a lot of these rounds have been a lot slower, a lot more deliberately methodical, I suppose, whereas this one was a lot faster. Endpoint weren't really expecting the rush to come through onto the B site, and of course ITB do a good job of clearing out the site properly. Obviously we see very often where a team will get in onto the site but they don't check, they don't clear it properly, and it is ultimately their demise. But for ITB, however, they do a very good job of maintaining that control, getting that bomb down, and look, Endpoint may have been able to regress into that and at the very least make it expensive. Hell, they could possibly even have been a world where they went out that round. But rather than take that risk, they make sure to take that weaponry into the next round, so that in this round, it's very little that they have to spend. So even if they end up losing this round, they're still fine into the next. I think overall it was the smarter decision. Some may look at it and question it, but long term, it makes a lot of sense.
The most important piece to all of it was keeping the AWP, right? And there you go, right? MHL has started the round exactly as you'd expect. You save the big green, it does some damage. Cypher second to fall. Surreal applying pace to the CT side. Max a third, MHL a fourth. And, well, ITB's round win merely was an outburst of response. Endpoint clearly have things all under control, as a very prevalent 6th round will be going their way. And a very dominant one at that as well. It was pretty solid from beginning to end. You couldn't really stop them.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it gets problematic, right? You try and do the same thing you did 2 rounds in a row. Endpoint's not going to let you do that. They've understood how you push that specific execute. They've very quickly figured out how to respond to it, and that's exactly what they do. Draken denies the flawless round, but he does lose the AWP, so is not able to take that through into the next. That's okay. Still a lot of cash for them to spend into this round, but it was a bit weird to see them try the same thing twice. I'd like to see a little bit more creativity out of it. I suppose that's what makes this map so difficult as well. It's one of those maps that, as I said earlier, has been stratted into the ground. You know almost every possible execute, and there are very often tells that will give away what the T side are planning. So you can kind of start to respond to that. But doing the same thing 2 rounds in a row is going to make it just that little bit more obvious.
Six two. At least ITB have shown that they can do it with the rifles. Sometimes the hardest round is the first round, getting on the board. Once you can do that, show some pace, show that you actually have it in the locker, that you can do it. The rest just kind of eases into place sometimes. See if they can have the same run good, and see if they can have the same effect and outcome. Adam, thinking maybe about going through under. Rusty's with him at least, so if they do want to commit to a play like this, they've got the numbers, and they certainly do in the round now as well. As Draken, he's able to find the AWP. MHL plucked apart from CT from ramp.
Yeah, I mean, that shot came from Narnia. But hey, if it works, it works. A fantastic shot there. And an immediate pivot over towards that B site. Now, Endpoint, of course, haven't overly rotated just yet. They realize that it might not be a push towards A, and this has been a really smart move from them. There's still one player left towards A, but Mighty Max over towards B will be able to get one. It's traded back as Cypher is good for a 2-piece. Down to 4 versus 2. The rotation from Thomas a little bit too late here, and somehow they're going to have to try to hold the line. Surreal, good for 3 as he single-handedly single-handedly brings it down to a numbers advantage for Endpoint Dobbo in the 1 versus 1 against Surreal. Surreal has indeed been surreal in this round. Can he close it out with Dobbo only on 48 HP? And he does! 4 kills. What an absolute madman.
Unreal.
Yeah.
7-2. Endpoint.
One might even say surreal.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Surreal. Thank you. What an unreal round. Look at that. Just lining them all up. I mean, nice attempt from Dobbo. Good adjustment onto Thomas. And he even had the right idea on the second, right? He was looking the right way. And then ultimately, that's that done, right? They just, they get cooked. So there you have it, right? 7-2, pause to come in. ITB, they need to rethink their options, and they're going to do exactly that, right? Take the 30 seconds, a bit of a breather, talk things through. What do we need to do differently? Cypher, he found 2 when we won the B Rush, found 2 again in this round, kind of just got owned by Surreal. Nothing you can do about that there. But how do we prevent these plays happening again? Well, I feel like we had a couple of smokes spare for ITB, yet we left the entirety of Kitchen open.
Yeah, and it's one of those small misplays. This is what I was saying, you know, teams that execute in on towards B don't necessarily check everything adequately. If you don't smoke it off, well, what is there to deny a Surreal from coming forward and doing exactly what he just did? A round that could very easily have gone ITB's way. It was a 4 versus 2, for goodness sake. And it slips through their fingers because they missed out on the util usage. And Endpoint just will not allow ITB to do the same shenanigans that they have been previously. It does get traded out, however. A lot of map control given over towards Endpoint, but Nert's just doing Nert's things. And once again, we find ourselves in a 4v2, but this time it's in Endpoint's favor.
Adam, can he do anything with the Tech 9? Ooh, yeah, trying to, like, you know, extend his arms like Mr. Tickle style, grab the AK and then retract him back in and shoot people. Not going to happen. 8-2. Endpoint guaranteed a lead at the halftime whistle. Their CT side looking strong. ITB just need to start putting numbers up. They need to start getting rounds because it's costing them. The gap is too much. I don't know. It's hard to say, but ITB, you know, they've got to face the music at some point, and this needs to be a start. This needs to be a change.
Yeah, I mean, only 5 rounds left in this half. ITB need to win at least 4 of those. They have the weaponry to do it for now, but Cash is strapped. If they lose this round, it's back down to pistols.
Oh, great shot from Draken. The 30-degree window meme shall not live any longer. That was too funny when that existed. Do feel bad for him, though, because he's probably heard it enough times in his life. Love the man, though. I was going to say, he hasn't lost confidence. Like, in the interview, the VT that we saw earlier on, he was like, yep, I'm confident. This is looking good. You know, we've been putting in the hours. Let's see it happen. Look at this. Endpoint gamble towards mid, thinking they could go for some sort of B flank. Unfortunately, by doing that, they've left the site completely empty. And ITB will just stroll on in, punch in the digits. The 7-digit code that puts a 40-second fuse back on this round. MHL, the timing is so unfortunate. Holding that angle the entire time. And as soon as he goes up, they start jumping across. Draken, does he have to read? MHL will back away before I even get to know the answer. It will be 3rd on the board for ITB. You said they need 4. Already 25% of the way there.
Oh! Great shot there. Endpoint going to try and hold on to some of these weapons. ITB, not a fan of that. But they don't want to risk pushing this. Again, their economy is a little bit messy at the moment. So, rather go into the next few rounds with as much cash as humanly possible. Because, like we said, right, they need to string quite a few rounds together here. And they did lose one player that they maybe didn't need to. But this is good. This is a good potential change in direction. I mean, Endpoint have more money than they know what to do with at this point. So, you know, keeping it expensive no longer really becomes a huge consideration. So for ITB, it's really about winning rounds. That's the only thing that they're thinking about right now. It doesn't matter about taking guns away unless they're on a pistol for whatever reason. It's purely about win the round. Even if all 5 of the enemy team hold on to their weapons, so be it. Just win the round. Which is a lot harder, easier said than done. I think that ITB have proven that a few times here. Endpoint have just been a stalwart defense. They set up such strong positioning, such good map control. Okay, the last round was obviously a bit of an outlier. They tried to go for a play, it didn't work out. But for the most part, they've been really good at shutting down a lot of these entry points. And ITB, for the most part, have really struggled to find a way in.
When they have found success, it's looked pretty damn good. I think ITB will use that as a spur of confidence rather than negativity. I firmly believe if ITB can make this half close, then CT side certainly could be up for contention. And ITB will know if they have that second and survive. As I said earlier on, if they survive in this first half, they do just enough to keep them alive. As long as their CT start is correct, they have a chance of beating Endpoint here. Only 5 rounds down as well, remember that, people. You know, it's not exactly like a landslide performance just yet. Lose this round, you start to eat away at that Endpoint economy. I mean, Surreal and MHL are rich. The other 3, quite poor though, so probably got 1 or 2 more buys in you before that money starts to go completely. By then, ITB should have the momentum. Rusty going for a bit of a spam through the mid-smoke. Trying to catch out any connector player, and a Molotov behind it to isolate these angles. As Draken starts to clear them with the AWP. ITB, they want mid-control.
Oh, mid-control they shall have. Now as they start to move their way in over towards the A site. Endpoint looking to set up a little bit of a pincer here. Potentially going to try and position a player in jungle. Nope! That will be completely denied to Rusty. Nice little shot there. Spam through the space, but... Alright. Nice little trade back. 2 players left alive here for Endpoint in the blink of an eye.
Oh my god!
1 second left. That's unreal.
So close! so close. Cypher, Adam, 3 kills between them. This is a 5v3 to begin with. Draken certainly dead now on the AWP. On the angle, Mighty Max will isolate it. MHL starts to wander on in, and he catches the arm of Adam. But Cypher tries to cross, but MHL will hold. 9 on the board for Endpoint. Maybe I spoke too soon, because MHL, he wants to make sure he heads to bed soon. 12-4, 9-3 the scoreline. And that gap opens right back up.
Oh, this was such a good position from MHL as well. Just to get that spam through the slightest little gap in all the way towards jungle. And it denies so much of ITB's control as well. And even with 1 second left on the clock, they're able to get that plant down. But Draken caught in no man's land. Forced out of position by a Molotov. And that's the round going in favor of Endpoint in the most ridiculous way imaginable. Only a few rounds left here. ITB, they could potentially get the next round, 2 rounds maybe. But I mean, looking at their cash, if they lose this one, that could be it. I mean, geez, even with a pistol in the next half, this is going to be difficult to come back. No!
Oh no, ITB! Have they let on through the finger cracks then? That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. And, well, they suffer the ultimate price. Draken, Rusty, 2v5. Genuinely could be a 12-3 half at this point. As quick as I said, it could be not 8-7. Just one of them. Momentum playing a heavy factor. Endpoint with stacks of cash. And it is just looking too good. 51 seconds on the clock. With every second that burns away, that volley is going to go the back corner. A second smoke used. Nertz is saved just for, you know, 15-20 seconds longer. Draken holding the left-hand side as Rusty tries to approach silently from the right. Nertz, don't stick your nose out too far around the edge of that smoke because you are a dead man. And Rusty goes for the spam. MHL will catch off his teammate, and the flank with the AWP is sublime. 10 on the board for ITB, guaranteeing double digits. That has got to hurt ITB. A fighting chance maybe out at the end of map 2, but in the start of map 3, Endpoint, they want that grand final spot again.
I worry that ITB are getting inside their heads a little bit, their own heads. There have been a few moments where it's felt like these tiny mistakes are costing them so dearly. Not smoking off on B, not checking that long angle to see if a player is somehow pushed all the way up there, and obviously inerts. And it's these small things that turn into massive victories for Endpoint. And unfortunately, if you're not, you know, getting that information, if you're not denying sightlines, you have, well, essentially what's happening here. Down to a 4v3, at least Rusty was able to trade one back. It's not looking good for ITB here.
Problem is as well, 3v4. Bomb's going to move towards B. This has been such a habit for ITB that Endpoint, the longer this is left, the more they're going to realise. You already see ENDSurreal. He's in and around it. MHL is kind of chilling. He moves back towards A, thinking that the threat of an A split's certainly there, but it's still a double play towards B. It's Mighty Max towards... Oh, sorry, it's ENDSurreal towards Market. Mighty Max under Apps. Got to fight for his life. Jumping over the top. Draken doesn't check. Still two players. Dobbo will take the fight from short, and the Galil wins the first engagement. It's a 2v4 originally. It does get tagged up a little bit here. Rusty goes for a tap of the bomb. He's going to be spotted coming off of it. Sees the first, but a double swing will be their demise. 11-3 now. ITB just getting absolutely demolished here on the T side.
Tell me again how ITB were probably going to win this map.
Listen, I'm just a believer in an underdog story.
You're on that hopium. I respect it.
You know, I'm not giving advice into, you know, where you should put your money. That's
of course,
not my job.
Yes.
I'm not a pundit. I'm just someone that likes to believe in an underdog story. And I thought genuinely, do you know what? The last time these teams played was in this tournament, was, you know, in this setting. And ITB on this specific map beat them massively. I just wanted to draw the dots together and paint the picture that it's happened before and it could happen again. But we all know Endpoint is Endpoint. It's two different beasts on the server, it feels like, here in our side of the BO3. And that's... well, he's a bit too complacent. 4v3 now given up. Could be a fourth on the board for ITB, which might just be their saving grace if they're able to convert. A gun barrel spotted by ENDSurreal. And there you go. The longer he holds it, the more he knows that that peak's going to happen. Gets himself the kill. Max drops the smoke. His teammate here to support. And this should be as easy as anything.
Well, there you have it. The round closed out a 12-3 half in favor of Endpoint. Absolutely unreal performances here so far, but it's not over just yet. We're going to have the second half in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. We can take a quick break, and we will be back very shortly. We are back for the second half of Mirage. An 11-4 start for Endpoint. What do you think, Retro? Do you think 4 rounds is enough? You think ITB can bring it back? You're the one on the hopium.
Yeah, listen, you know, I made my point about the last time these two teams played. I said, you know, Mirage was like the haven of ITB in the BO5. I don't know, things have changed. Times have changed. Yeah, mate, ITB win it 16-12, if you didn't know. That's the script I've got in front of me, as Twitch chat likes to believe that we live by. It's just here, listen, hold on.
12 is all they get, fair enough.
There you go, script out. Oh, great shot from Adam to start things off. You know, memes aside. Oh, Adam, what's going on? USP working a gem for this ITB side. Pistol round could be going a bit wayward though, because Thomas has found some success out towards A. Draken going to bring life away from middle, as Rusty will double down as well. 4v1. Max has got to pick up the bomb. That's the first task, which is very seen by the ITB side as they start to encroach on it. And even if Max is to collect it and get a kill, you know, he's got 5 points of health at the end of the day. That doesn't look too likely, as Draken will just shoot him once in the chest. That's it. ITB up to a 4.
Well, it looks like ITB had the same script you were reading from.
Yeah.
Good start. But we've seen this before. Win a pistol and bottle the force. So, hopefully they can do something a little bit better here. Thankfully, of course, denying the bomb plant means that there's very little cash for Endpoint to work with. So, yes, they are going to put a little bit of a spend behind this. Quite a big spend at that. The scout coming out and full deagles for the rest. But it is going to be a little bit more detrimental to them if it doesn't work out. So ITB in a bit of a better position here. And a huge uphill battle ahead of them.
A massive one. Certainly got to sort it out, as you said, right? It's like, it's not even like it's a home sprint. You know, they've got a marathon, an absolute gargantuan of a hill to climb before they can even start thinking about this this comeback being reality. We'll see, because over time, you know, it can happen. Shots like that happen though, you will be in trouble. Nuts.
Oh, no ways.
Nice first frag. Mighty Max a second. Don't you dare start thinking that this is going to be the case. I come on, surely not.
Surely not. I'm in that place where I just want to like see how this plays out. I'm so curious. Endpoint, still 5 players left alive. Managed to get 2 kills for themselves on a deagle round. They've picked up an M4, so Nurse is going to have that little bit of extra punch as they start making their way towards A, I would guess. Yep, there you go. Nope, never mind.
Back towards B.
Yep.
In the matchmaking world, that is called the cinnamon swirl.
Is it?
Yeah, where you go towards A and then you go towards B, like it's called the cinnamon swirl. Okay. There you go. Second kill, Cypher, making things look good here, has to switch out to the USP, headshots not quite found. 2v2, considering Adam's low, a lot of the weight relies on Rusty's shoulders, and he finds the VIP. It was Thomas on the M4, now MHL to try and close the gap. Rusty holds his nerve, and that is a sigh of relief for Into the Breach here, as it's a 5th on the board, and as they start to close the gap a little more, maybe a little more respect shown to the T side of Endpoint CEX, because that, again, is a close round, and one that, in the first place, Endpoint had no business in winning.
100%. Oh my goodness. I mean, I was here for it. I thought that would have been entertaining as all hell. But, yeah, well done to ITB. I say well done. Well done for doing the bare minimum and winning the round you should have won. And being able to turn things back in your favor. Very, very shaky ground. We were kind of wondering if they were going to crumble under the force from Endpoint like they had done in the previous half, but managed to stick it together. Not going to be much of a bonus coming into this round, as only 2 of their players survived, so it is a full reinvest, which again can be somewhat dangerous, but they know that they're at the most coming up against some upgraded pistols from Endpoint, so hopefully they'll be able to come out slightly less scathed in this one, have a little bit of extra cash into the next round. We'll see how much Endpoint can get done. If they can replicate the previous round, I mean, they're happy.
Rusty trying to take some contact towards the B side of the map. Still a 7-round deficit to work against, but, you know, when you start doing the maths, an Endpoint are at the lower hand, when it's so, you know, back and forth, eco buy kind of thing. These rounds, this lead specifically can slip away from you, as long as they get the formalities out of the way and the correct demeanour as well. Thomas taking considerable damage. Max and MHL also taking some tags to the M4. Nerds on the Deagle is like me on a rifle. Just unbelievable. Maybe not me on a rifle. You know what I mean? Like, his Deagle is like my rifle is what I was meant to say.
There you go.
I'm not saying that I'm good at the game. I'm far from the truth. But he's unbelievable is my point. Just hitting all the shots. That's his 18th... sorry, it's not his 18th. It's his 16th kill. Surreal's on 18. We're having some pretty deep performers here on this Endpoint side. ITB, though, as I said, should be getting this round out of the way in their name. And although there was a little bit of a roadblock at the beginning, and actually a bomb plant to come out of this round as well. Are you serious, MHL? Able to stick it, tries to do a little more damage. But, of course, only take what you need. And a bomb plant is plenty here for Endpoint. It's a 6 on the board, though, for ITB. They start to bring the numbers back.
And 2 kills for Endpoint, plus the bomb plant. Plant. There is not an extra syllable there. Not bad at all. Try and keep that economy from ITB dented as much as possible. But now we're going to head into actual buy territory for Endpoint, right? Things have been a little bit wobbly or after forcing in the second round. Haven't been able to really put up some good weaponry into this. They had some pretty good low buy eco rounds, but now they're actually going to come into this with proper weaponry available for themselves. We'll see how this approach, because of course tactically things start to change up a little bit when you have the utility and the firepower to back it up.
Oh. At least known now that the C side has one. ITB, I mean, a massive chance here if they win this round. You know, the comeback is well and truly on. I think the real litmus test is in this round, though, where both teams bring forward rifles, although ITB don't quite have the same luxury as MHL possesses for Endpoint with the big green. Certainly some damage, Nerds. Yeah, got to be careful to avoid the HE. We'll do exactly that, volley towards under to keep the rifler at bay. More importantly, Endpoint do take mid control, but it seems like a large cost with it in terms of utility here for ITB. They've lost a lot on it. Nerds has been boosted up. You've got to see the arm. You've got to see the arm, Draken. Hello? There he does. Okay, does find the first kill. Swings out, finds an AWPer as well. Draken goes for 2, and he escapes with his life.
Yeah, that was starting to get a little bit dicey for a moment. Draken, can you make it 3? Chip Surreal down to 14 HP. Is attempting to push it as well. ITBdobbo to clear it out. Nice. And Dobbo for the second. With Thomas, the last player left alive here. This was their full buy. This was their ingress. Their attempt of an ingress into this half. And so far, it hasn't gone terribly well. Of course, Thomas doesn't have the bomb. So, just going to try and hold on to this gun. Losing this round. Again, economy in the absolute dumpster. Just has to pray that he can keep this. Take it into the next. Yeah, there you go. ITB bringing it back in a pretty flashy fashion.
Something that maybe ITB won't expect, though, is the fact that they're going to go for a... Oh, are they? Now, I'm a little unsure about that, because I think Max ended the round with nearly $4,000. Nerds and Surreal both ended the round with well over enough money to go for AK armor and a little bit of util. Obviously, Thomas saved, but yet they still opt for a half buy. So, Endpoint maybe playing on the safer side. They know they've got a round lead, so let's just let the AK do the work and make sure we bring our best look into the next round rather than the half-assed approach in this round.
Yeah.
HE grenade drops onto the top of Mighty Max, doing half health already. So ITB realizing that these guys are going to be on an eco. They're just setting up the anti-rush nades already and just trying to create some space between the Deagle / Tech 9 / saved AK and the rifles that they possess. As he's peeking towards ramp, Dobbo. Would have been nice that that he went with a teammate or got a flash or something. Adam's now low HP as well. It's not good because that's a second rifle given away. Dobbo has given up a very free gun. Adam taken down. What is going on right now, ITB? We've just given up everything.
Oh, some of these ecos have been absolutely ridiculous. ITB, however, still alive in this, still have a chance. Never mind. 2 players left alive. 2 versus 3, and they are being held at bay. All of the Endpoint players have managed to find a rifle, so it is a little bit more power than just the deagle. But Rusty is so good with it. 1 versus 1. No! Surreal!
1 extra bullet was the difference. He had 3 bullets left in the mag. He hit all 3, and Rusty was left with, I think, like 15, 16 points of health. Watch it back. Hopefully we catch all of the replay. Look at this. 33. Okay, we needed 2 extra bullets, not 1, but still the point stands, right? Had that a bit of full magazine, had it a bit of full clip in the mag, he would have nailed the 1v2 and would have shut down every single open dream of ITB. And, you know, while you think that was a close round for Endpoint, ITB's money in threatening range here for an Endpoint investment, lose it. Financially, they've got to find some miracle to get back into this contest here into the breach.
Jeez, what a round. Some of these rounds have been so crazy to watch play out. This has been a really good matchup between these 2 teams. And looking at the cash as well, I mean, it's a little all over the place for all of the players, right? Because it's been so back and forth, because the rounds have been so close, neither team is really able to build up any sort of long-term economy. So it just maintains in this really, really weird state where you're trying to bring as much of a buy as possible into a round, but you're still trying to think about the following rounds. And like, you've got Thomas on $0, but you've got like Surreal on 1400. And it's not the biggest difference in the world, but it can be.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between Deagle half armor and just a Glock, right? So
exactly.
There is some context, rather. Contest? There is a contest. It's a
yes,
heated one
this
as well.
Oh.
I think.
Where was that?
Out towards B on short. Cypher
Yes,
finds Max. Dobbo finding Thomas. This time the ramp control works in favour of ITB, despite nearly being their downfall in the last. MHL trying to work around it with the big green. Jumping through. Bomb drops. Dobbo tries to switch it out. He's the secondary AWPer for ITB, so it's not like he's unfamiliar with the gun. In the meantime, Nertz trying to take the fight towards CT with the AWPer. It's Draken that holds it in his hands. Nertz will tap away and find the headshot. Surreal, he's able to try and plant the bomb in the meantime. He does indeed squeeze it out, but a 1v3 is going to be a dangerous attempt. Finds his first. Does get the reload off as well. Dobbo on ramp. Low HP. Oh, hold on! Low HP for both, but Dobbo with an AWP. This could be it. A critical round to win. Peeks over the top. Messy spray for Surreal. A pistol shot. The difference, but Surreal in the 1v3. Endpoint alive. ITB's dream shattered. A 5-round deficit continues to prove dominance. Endpoint CEX out of the back pockets of Surreal. 24-8. What a game he's having.
God, Surreal has been so good. Holy. It's just been an absolute pleasure to watch on this map. A little quieter on some of the other maps, but here in particular, just a freaking monster. 24-8 at the moment, just in case anyone was wondering. Doing so much work here to keep Endpoint alive. And honestly, it's needed. ITB are looking much better on this CT side. However, unfortunately, we mentioned how janky the economy had been looking. Yes, Draken managed to keep the AWP, but the rest of the team, it's pistols. It's so little to work with here. That's going to be another round probably conceded to Endpoint. And it's one that they really can't afford to lose, even though they can't realistically win it.
I'm actually gobsmacked.
Tell me about it.
That should have been an ITB round every day of the week. Except Saturday, of course. A minute left. I mean, ITB have played this one slow. They've gambled towards B, which is correct, may I say. An AWP, 3 pistols, can get scary. Endpoint, you know, if they leave it any later, they won't have any time to rotate. Surreal's going to try and make some noise and bait out some information towards B. Not to mention, the A site is going to be gutted out completely by Thomas. ITB, no way at Endpoint still going to go for this. I was going to say, Thomas is out towards A. He's cleared out everything. There you go. That's all fine. 1. A second. Yep. Nice. Yeah, AK just collecting everything right now. Draken might even walk into it as well. In the meantime, Thomas has pressed deep towards CT. Adam unexpecting it. Oh, he's not even going to get saved. Draken's just going to be caught on time and thinks he's apartments. In fact, he's on site. Rusty boosted in Ninja. Nerds is pre-fire, and of course he's going to get it. 4K in the round. 14-8 here. Endpoint. Had they not won that 1v3, had Surreal not have gone nuclear out on the A site in the post plant, you think this game 100% looks closer, but now Endpoint have opened things back up in their favour. It is looking unstoppable against an eco. All 5 survive. The AWP does nothing. For Draken, he's on a deagle. For ITB, it's a very, very weak buy surrounding M4s, MP9, and indeed a deagle to try and keep the dreams of the Knights alive.
And you have to wonder, if ITB had been able to string a few more rounds together on the T side, would this have looked different? Would they have been in it with a better chance? Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Now they come into this with a force, knowing full well that by the end of this round, it could be match point, and they will have very little cash to take into the next. It'll be, I think, a 3-round loss bonus, which isn't terribly much. It's not going to be enough for a full buy. They'll have to force in again. So they need to win this round, and that's a good start, but it's instantly traded out.
Let's have a look. Lots of noise being made towards B. Endpoint are sending it out. That's the bomb. Rusty will know. And the man advantage goes a long way, especially when Thomas leaps into the jaws of the M4 of Rusty, who collects nearly 3. Mighty Max half. He's jumping out of the jaws of one, and it feels like into another. MHL will try and keep them alive as Draken's deagle rattles off for another, hoping he can claim the AWP, and of course he does. Draken going to try and make the parkour up towards the AWP as well. Doesn't get there in time, but it's a crucial AK saved. 14-9. ITB, listen, if they're going to do it, it has to be done the hard way. And it certainly isn't easy from a 14-9 deficit. But you cannot say a game is over until it hits 16. And that's the mentality that ITB will be holding on to for the rest of this game. Until it's over or until they win.
I mean, you say ITB have to do it the hard way. I mean, they won nuke on a deagle round.
It's true.
There is no doing it the easy way for this team. But, yeah, they're still alive. Stay of execution. Giving themselves a lifeline in this one. Now, no AWP available because, of course, haven't been able to build up the cash that they need. Haven't been able to build up that buffer whatsoever. Endpoint have been on a little bit of a tear here. But even Endpoint are starting to feel the economic constraints. You know, inflation is high and we're all struggling. Cost of living is through the roof. And Endpoint also, if they lose this round, they're going to struggle to put anything together into the next one. So for both of these two teams, it's a pretty important round.
And for Endpoint, their financial aid rests on this round, right? So,
yeah.
Fine lines, fine lines. Certainly isn't over just yet, especially if ITB can pick up the pace once more. But Endpoint, we always talk about a team that knows how to deal with every situation. The most experience that we have here in the Premiership. The most knowledge, the most rehearsed, some of the oldest in terms of like years in the game. They have everything going for them. And those factors just make up for such a threatening team as we've seen for the last however many years, 4 years nearly. This team has been the #1 in the UK. Dobbo looking to dethrone them though in this round as a 2K with the A1S. Certainly creating that precedent. A molly underneath as well will actually burn Cypher into the open. Not an ideal scenario considering they were double stacked, and indeed he will burn. But Endpoint should know that's a different name to the ones that they died to earlier on. Playing a 4v3, knowing that there's a second man on site. They might just try and change their tune a little bit. MHL coming up, connect up with the bomb, with the AWP, and Thomas. He's able to take down Draken. It's still 2 players towards the A site though, and they've got to be careful. Because while they'll know at least maybe one's there, 2 is just a bit of a stretch. Never mind that. Rusty, he's dropped. Dobbo's able to make it a 3rd. In fact, Adam steals a couple away, but it's all the kills that go in the way of ITB, and time is just too much of a factor. It pressures Nerds out of the round. It's double digits here for Into the Breach. A long way to go, no denying that, but that's a good step in the right direction.
I mean, they did a solid job of just running out that clock forever and ever. Util usage was on point there. And why take a fight unnecessarily? Why peak when you don't need to. Send in an HE, send out a molly. They actually do get a kill off the back of that. Fantastic, right? It's all you could ask for. And they're able to maintain control of the site for just long enough to ensure that there is no way that that bomb can go down. Hide out of sight. You know, two players left alive. You don't want to give over a kill unnecessarily. You don't want to allow the potential for a round win off of kills. Great stuff from ITB. And as we mentioned, Endpoint economy basically broken. They do have the one hero rifle into this, but the rest is just the upgraded pistols. It's going to take a lot.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Wow.
Why? How are we dying? A Deagle against 2 rifles, Dobbo and Adam.
They just walk right into it. That is so unfortunate.
Pressure amalgamates. Draken has to do something to relieve it, and he will indeed find an escape way for this ITB. Oh, side, I was going to say. Nerds finding that kill, 2v4. Rusty, he's able to take down what has been a massive threat to this ITB side in this game so far. Looking for a second. Great shot from Surreal with the Deagle. And it's again pistols that could derail an ITB comeback. As Draken against 3, Orp against the rest, finds the first. MHL will penalise. 15-10, map point, series point. It's all in Endpoint's name.
I want to do the how did that go so wrong, but like this is how. How does Thomas survive there? It is unprecedented for him to be able to get 2 kills there. It is just ridiculous that that round should go in favor of Endpoint off the back of whatever that was into the Breaches players hitting a bit of a speed bump there. Now match point. It's a scout and some pistols. There's so little to work with here as Draken starts to burn alive. And Endpoint have every single advantage, every single opportunity to close this one out. We've seen ITB win a map on a pistol, but it's going to take far more than that to survive through to the end of this map.
It's just so savage. 2 lost half buys. You know, Endpoint, first time around, it was a team effort. Second time, you've got to give it to Thomas. What an unbelievable 2K to get. But those 2 rounds cost ITB what feels like the entire series. Great shot from Rusty. Bomb dropped as well. So maybe there is still belief here for the Knights. I mean, it's a good start. You know the saying, start as you mean to go on. Certainly the good way to go about it. Cypher going to test the waters as well with his Deagle. 5-7 from that range, Adam. You are living on prayers. 30 seconds left. Notice how much time has been burnt here by collecting the bomb, by trying to predict the site, by trying to get some good mid-round knowledge and good mid-round presence. It's all alleviated as Cypher drops the bomb again. Rusty will find another. Thomas holds his nerve. Rusty with a third. No way is a Deagle going to bail them out of this round. Bombs picked up. Thomas tries to move. And Rusty, the headhunter, saves the Knights once more. That is criminal with the Deagle. What is that?
No way is the Deagle gonna bail them out of this round. Rusty says, alright, hold my drink. Oh, wow. I must say, the duo of Rusty and Draken has been so good for ITB, honestly. And I know that they spoke about it a little bit in the interview as well, right? That experience of having played for so long. They come in onto this roster and they have done so much. That's, of course, not downplaying everyone else on the roster, but wow, just some exceptional plays, and that is an unreal way to stay alive in this. Now, they are by no means out of the woods just yet. This is a very, very broken buy coming up against, once again, an AWP for MHL. Yeah, okay, Mighty Max is a Tech 9, but we've seen what Mighty Max is capable of. Nerds has got a Deagle. I mean, it's Nerds. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about that. He is still the second top fragger in the lobby. So, definitely be afraid. A timeout coming through here. I think both of these two teams need just a moment. Just to, like, gather their thoughts, you know. Make sure that they go into this round calm.
Well, me included. I could deal with the minute,
Honestly.
you know. Oh my word. Back-to-back rounds that a Deagle saves a round. Talk about Thomas, 2k Deagle towards ramp in round 25. Round 26, Rusty delivers a 4k. Just straight out of nowhere. Just deletes everyone. And now, 15-11. By no means, as you said, is this game over. By no means is that into the breach with a fighting chance of winning. They've still got 4 rounds to go. Mighty Max with a Mac 10. Nerds with a Deagle. But such a disjointed buy for both parties.
Yeah.
Economy on a nice edge. Whoever loses this, well, for ITB, there's no eco, but for Endpoint, they certainly won't be able to buy in the next round. As Mighty Max goes aggressive towards Connector, Adam obeys, he backs away. Not to mention MHL finding Dobbo from CT. That's one of the M4s given up. Now Adam is stuck between a rock and a hard place, but Thomas's head is taken off his shoulders. It's Nerds' Deagle to try and displace some more ITB members as Adam tries to dip between the smoke and what feels like a barrage of bullets from Palace. 4v3, Endpoint man advantage.
An attempt at a very aggressive rush onto the A site does get slowed down massively, but it gives them the chance to pull numbers in their favor. It gives Nerds the chance to trade up from the Deagle. Now a lot more firepower available for Endpoint as they look to regress back towards this A site. Rusty, he thought it's going to be a potential maneuver over towards B, so he's separated from the rest of the team. The timing on this is going to be so important because he has to meet back with the rest of his teammates, and Nerds in a dangerous spot here, caught between 2 players. If he gets caught out here, that could be it for Endpoint.
Nice shot from Adam, though. Now focus has to be turned towards A. Are they going to go out the CT angle? Well, there's going to be some resistance met by them. Draken trying to fight for his life. Mac 10 over the top. It's done decent damage here. Draken's low HP and the Mac 10 will succeed as MHL tries to move on out. A 2v2. An AWP and a Mac 10 against 2 M4s. Or well, now an AK in Rusty's hands. And as the bomb continues to tick away, they look for a way back in. And yet again, it's on the Swede. It's on Rusty. It's all eyes on him. MHL's AWP. So potent in this round to end the show. To stop ITB with any chance over the top. MHL will find it, and Endpoints, damn does it get close, but it is 16-11 and a best of 3 that ends in heartbreak for the night. You can only be gutted for them. 1,224 days Endpoint have found themselves at a top, and I reckon that's as close as it's ever going to get. That was a mighty damn close game, especially after Nuke, but indeed, it is Endpoint that come out on top. We're going to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll break things down in a winner's interview.